One substitution that happens game after game is becoming very inevitable if it hasn't done so already. You will often find that if you're supporting West Ham and you need a midfielder to change up the game, you can count that either Manuel Lanzini or Saïd Benrahma will come off the bench, or that Manuel Lanzini will replace Saïd Benrahma, or vice versa. You can also expect Lanzini to replace Pablo Fornals at some point, because David Moyes has made very predictable substitutions. This video is specifically going to talk about Lanzini and Benrahma, their traits as players and why they are very interchangeable, but also this video provides a slight criticism of them both, which is both constructive and somewhat needed. Manuel Lanzini and Saïd Benrahma identify as attacking midfielders by trade. Lanzini had the pace, dribbling ability, and passing range to be a strong attacker within West Ham from the years 2015 to 2018. Lanzini and Dimitri Payet formed a decent bond in Bilic's first season as West Ham manager because they both worked well off of each other. They both had a good amount of technical skill. One was feeding off of the other. Interdependence has been key in the West Ham team for some time. And Payet and Lanzini had a very strong bond, shall we say, in the 2015-16 season. From 2016 onwards, Lanzini and Payet struggled to pass the ball to each other and couldn't string passes together. And when Payet left, Lanzini seemed to take over the role as a attacking midfielder with the flair and assisting ability. He has been good for West Ham, and in that attacking role he excelled, so much so that he was called up to the Argentina national team for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. Unfortunately, an injury ruled him out of the tournament and crushed his World Cup dream. Having undergone rehabilitation and finally returning to action for West Ham during the 18-19 season, he struggled. He struggled to make an impact in the team, and he struggled to get back to his best. Everybody said Lanzini was not been the same since he got injured, and that was definitely something I agreed with. Under David Moyes, Lanzini reverted into a holding midfielder role, something that Lanzini himself liked because he said, quote, "I get to touch the ball more." And he is a good player. He's a good passer of the ball. He makes direct passes. He was coming off the bench many times and making a difference in games. He had 2 goals in 2 games. One of them was a goal of the month contender for his effort against Manchester City. His goal against Crystal Palace as well showed his dribbling ability and his pace. He was able to dribble past players and then shoot the ball with a medium half drop into the net. He has it in him to do that. And actually, I think he's an important player in the team. That's why I like Lanzini. He's efficient. He is a game-changing midfielder. And he has started to enjoy his football a lot more. Saïd Benrahma was described as the next Payet when he signed for West Ham in 2020. We thought that we had the next Payet in Felipe Anderson, but it seemed like Anderson had a purple patch within the first 6 months of his time in the East End, and he was shipped off back to Lazio for a very measly fee, despite being a club record signing for £40 million at one point. Benrahma struggled at West Ham to begin with, but it seemed that he had more of a starting role after Jesse Lingard's loan ended. Benrahma started off this season excellently. He had 2 goals in 2 games, one's against Newcastle and Leicester, assisted in both of those games at least once, and it seemed like he was having a really strong role in the attacking midfield. He also played out on the wing. And he admitted in an interview that his most comparable counterpart was Manuel Lanzini. The two of them seem to have a good relationship on and off the pitch. But the point I'm making here is that although they have very good traits and similar traits, they don't maintain good form. There have been games where Lanzini has struggled to get passes through. In the Leicester game, Lanzini got the ball a lot in the centre of the field and wasn't passing it around as much. Fornal's struggling probably didn't help Lanzini in the end as well. I suppose that's an argument you could say. But Lanzini struggled to move it around. When Benrahma came on, more to the point of this video, when Benrahma came on, he made a difference. He had 2 shots on goal. One of them was on target. He showed energy and impact. Benrahma as a starter has been a bit hesitant recently. And I think that he's still got the mentality of the aftermath of the AFCON. A tournament in which he undeservedly, you could argue, did not feature a lot in. Benrahma was proud to have been called up to his country because he missed the 2019 AFCON due to injury, the one in which Algeria won. And since he's come back from the international duty, he's not been at his best. I think he overcomplicates himself and tries to do too much, relying on his technical skill too much. Or maybe he's not comfortable on the wing and should be playing in attacking midfield. There's a lot of different things you could argue with this. I mean, Lanzini was naturally an attacking midfielder and then he went back into holding midfield. And it worked nicely for him. We saw a difference in him. Benrahma is an attacking player. He needs to play in that 10 role or on the left wing. I don't mind him there at all because he's able to cut into the box when he's on the wing, and when he's playing as attacking mid, he tends to get into a central position to pass the ball through cleanly or to attack from a straight angle. It seems as though when Lanzini does poorly, Benrahma then steps in, plays well, and takes over Lanzini's position. I think the two of them can work well together in a team, and they have done before, but they need to revert roles. I would stick Lanzini as a number 10 and Benrahma on the wing. I would not have Lanzini as a holding mid because that is going to restrict him. That is not going to help Benrahma to get service. They do have it in them to be good players together, but they need to be good at the same time. It seems as like though Lanzini has had a couple of good games right now, but then he's been quiet from that point onwards. The Leicester game, I saw him struggle badly, like I say. He really needed to step it up in that second half of the game. I don't think he stepped it up too much. I mean, a lot of players played badly in that game, but Lanzini was somebody who wasn't playing well. Benrahma came on immediately. More energy, more statement of intent, more tempo was added to that midfield. It's like at the same time you could argue that in the Watford game, wasn't it Benrahma that came off and Lanzini came on? Because Benrahma was struggling in that game. He hit the post because he overcomplicated and did too much to put the ball in the net. So Lanzini came on. What does he do? He assists the winning goal. So bringing one on for the other is not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, it happens too often. And other teams predict that substitution to happen. I can guess what subs Moyes is going to make. I don't want to see Lanzini warming up. Benrahma's usually coming off, or Fornals is coming off, and vice versa, what have you. It's a mix of all that. But they have to maintain good form all of the time. And then one doesn't get dropped for another. It's probably just a cycle of football. But they are interdependent players. They are working together well. And going forward, if we are going to start them together, just get Benrahma out on the wing where he's going to be comfortable attacking down that flank, and Lanzini do his thing from the centre of the park. Because Lanzini's new role will allow him to apply pressure from a deeper position. Benrahma does not need to go that deep. He needs to go out wider, get the ball, and then dribble it so that he can create a chance. The other way around hasn't really worked. So if both of them are to feature in a game, they need to just work on staying with the same attacking mentality, still be able to pass balls, and still be able to help to create chances. They do it, but they are very on and off, and they just need to improve in that little aspect. They're having good seasons, but there's always room for improvement, as we know. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to sub for more content. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all soon.